I'm here with Robert Milkman through to the second round here at the Matchroom World Grand Prix with a 4-2 win over Neil Robertson. I introduced you by saying you always deliver. You certainly did tonight, didn't you, Robert?
Yeah, I played really well. I played really well when I was in the balls, like quite fluent and scored well, and I didn't really miss anything easy in the balls. I'm so happy with my long game. It was pretty awful, and my safety weren't the best really. I was fortunate I was scoring so well. Otherwise, and maybe one or two things went against Neil. You know, he missed that red in the first frame, which was a big settler for me, clearing up. I was so nervous, but I managed to clear him up, and that sort of turned the game. And then I sort of went for one or two balls I shouldn't have done and let him back in it. But luckily enough for me, I held myself together well at the end. So.
Do you think you just got a little bit overconfident going for those balls? Because you looked really assured out there today. Do you think you just maybe felt that a little bit too much when you went for those?
Yeah, well, those shots I went for, I mean, they looked really bad because I missed them by so far, but they were actually shots to nothing. And they would have been shots to nothing, but like the first one I went for, I remember the first shot I played in the match, I missed it by about 6 inches, but that red come all the way back down the table and it just managed to leave him on, and that's where he started to break. On another day, maybe I wouldn't have left him on, but yeah, like I say, I mean, I fancy those shots, so I just go for them. But I don't know, maybe I did throw the boat out a bit too much tonight, and I shouldn't offer any.
Well, you've got 2 wins over Neil at the Crucible. You knocked him out in the latter stages of the Northern Ireland Open as well. Do you think you're becoming his bogey player?
No, I wouldn't say that. He's beat me plenty of times. You know, he's took enough money off me in the past. Beat me in big like semi-finals of ranking events, and that, you know, and yeah, he's a class player, isn't he? I mean, you've always got to play well to beat Neil. That's the best I've played. I've beat him a couple of times before in the World Championships, but the first time I didn't really take much from it because he was absolutely burnt out. You could see it. He'd had such a long season. The second time I played reasonably well when I beat him in the World. But yeah, I mean, that was the best I played. Actually, I played well against him in the Ireland one in the last 16 as well. But like I say, you've got to play well against these top players. You know, you don't really often get many second chances.
Yeah, you certainly do. Conditions are still a bit weird at the moment. Obviously, there's still COVID testing going on. We're all a bit restricted. How are you finding that?
Well, it's not great really, because I sort of wake up. I'm not a very good sleeper anyway. I wake up, I go to bed quite early, like normally 9 or 10. I wake up at 4, and then I'm sort of, I can't go back to sleep because I'm thinking about, oh, when's that phone call going to be? Like, I don't really want that phone call, you know. If you get a phone call, it's a bad phone call, you know, to say that you've got it or what. So it's sort of, some players are alright, they just don't even care, they don't think about it. But I sort of, when I'm up, that's me up then for the rest of the day. So, you know, if I'm playing at 10 o'clock, it's not ideal really waking up at 4.
Yeah, definitely.
If you've got a 7 o'clock match, it's alright, because you can have once you've got your results, you can go back to bed for a couple of hours, you know. But yeah, it's a bit nerve-wracking. Yeah.
Sean Murphy or Jack Lisowski in the next round. Jack is local to you. You both sort of live in the same kind of area, but you've only played him twice on the Pro Tour. Is he a player that you know much of, and do you have any real preference between those two?
Yeah, I'd rather play Sean, because yeah, I've known Jack all of his life anyway. I mean, I remember him when he used to stand on the box and come in Westgate, because that's where we played together. And you know, he was probably only 5, 6 years old then. So I've watched him grow up, watch him struggle through what he's had. And he's come with me to tournaments like when he weren't even pro. Like he was with me at Preston, sharing the chalet, just to give me a bit of company. You know, I know Jack really well. Not so much the last few years, because he's gone off and done his own thing. He's been to London. But yeah, I still keep in contact with Jack, and you know, I'm sort of like a father figure to him. I have been over the years. So.